Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Melanated Minds. Today will be our first movie breakdown. The first movie we're going to break down is Don't Look Up. It's pretty lengthy, so if you've never seen the movie, it doesn't make sense for you to just get into this unless you want to get into this, watch the movie, and then come back and watch this again. I'm long winded and I'm gonna give my whole opinion. And the movie was pretty heavy. And most of the time, you can skip through certain things and just break down the important stuff. But this movie, for them to say, oh, it's a comedy and it's not supposed to be taken for face value, it was pretty heavy. Um, so here goes. Don't Look Up. Melanated Minds, y'all. Okay, the overview. Many people who are not conscious felt this movie was corny. The truth is, if you are not turned into a certain frequency, the hidden messages will go over your head. We at Melanated Minds are here to bridge the gap to get the messages out to our people. It is our duty to provide insight, conscious movie reviews, breakdowns, and light decoding. Feel free to list points we may have missed. Each one teach one. Enjoy. It also it also shows why people feel the government easily dismisses average citizens while making plans behind everyone's back. The dynamic between the United States and the other world powers is also shown based on how others view us. At the very beginning of the movie, you see a woman making tea. However, the camera's focus is on the teacup and the tea bag inside of the cup. And gematria, teacup is 66, which when added up is number 12, which equals the number 3. The number 66 is a lift for spirit message for you to let go of the need to control the physical world and to focus on the spirit instead. It is a sign to open the door for spiritual intervention. The number 66 also tells us to take your soul's mission to the next level. This means to place your focus in your heart's desires and soul's longing to accomplish its mission while here on earth and to do it without fear. Don't worry, be happy is the divine message of the number 66. This gives us a hint about what the movie is really about. The number 3 means many things, including self expression, the birth, life, death cycle, the mind, body, soul connection, and the connection to the divine. This further expands on the number 66 and defines one of the hidden messages in the movie. Keep in mind the number 3 is also the number of the ascended masters and the angelic realm, which is why the Holy Trinity is revered in Christianity. The Father represents the angelic heavenly realm, the Son represents the earthly realm, and the Holy Spirit represents the spirit realm. The T bag in gematria is the number 36, which equals 9. The number 36 symbolizes a few things, including using imagination and intellect to bring about desired results into completion. The number 9 represents the death or the ending of a cycle or completion. It also alludes to the beginning of a new cycle. The number 9 also appears spiritually when we have sufficient experience of life to take charge of our destinies. We can see where this is going. A youngest white woman is sitting at her desk listening to and reciting Wu-Tang Clan's Ain't Nothing to Fuck With. Wu-Tang Clan in gematria is the number 8, which is wealth abundance number. It is safe to assume she earns good money at her job and or they want to give us the impression that she is highly skilled, which also means she has an abundance of knowledge. Ain't nothing to fuck with is the number 6, which means your spiritual journey requires you to make a choice between material wealth and the divine path. Number 6 also symbolizes true revelations. It is this time it is revealed the woman is some kind of rocket scientist and discovers something bad is about to happen. She then drops a hint about it to her professor. He then discovers the truth. He calls the United States and they refer him to the Planetary Defense Coordination Office. The movie insists that it is a real place and it shows their logo. Their logo is a silhouette of a person standing on a castle watching 2 shooting stars. That is that is when everyone gets the news of a meteor heading to Earth in exactly 6 months and 14 days. 6 months is 180 days, which is the number 9, which is death or the ending of a cycle. 14 days is 2 weeks, and it's also the number 5. The size of the meteor is roughly 5 to 10 kilometers wide, which is about 12 to 15 miles. It is also revealed the woman is a student of the United States Scout Program, where they mathematically train to actively seek out dangers from space coming into Earth. Are we noticing a pattern of repeating numbers? They also call the Professor Oglethorpe, which shares numerical values with Persephone, motherhood, and perception. In turn, the professor instructs everyone to call him Teddy. The name Teddy equates to the number 4, just like Oglethorpe. This means the professor of the United States of America Scout Program represents the number 44. Spiritually, Master number 44 is related to laying foundation or grounding, and is the number that possesses energies of the archangels. Seems to fit right in with the message of the movie. The word Oglethorpe is an Old Norse personal name that is composed by the elements odd, which is the point of a weapon, plus the Ketil cauldron. Yeah, Ketil means cauldron. There was also a British general by the same name who founded the colony, now country of Georgia. Professor Teddy Oglethorpe and the youngish woman went to the White House. Then the opening credits roll. So all of that took place before the opening credits. This gets pretty heavy. Okay, so all of this took place before the movie officially started. The president comes out and she's a woman. America been pushing to elect a woman president for a few years now. Professor Oglethorpe addresses the student as Kate, who is a PhD candidate. More symbolism. Professor gave White House staff $20, number 2 again, for the snacks, and then discovered they were free. Deception. The president finally met with them. She allowed them to explain about the destructive comment, but she was very disinterested and dismissive, actually. Her staffer, who is also her son, played with his nose and insinuating a cocaine habit. A woman president also didn't really understand, downplayed the situation, implicating she isn't very intelligent. She then disrespected Teddy and Kate, stating they weren't smart enough to discover the comment. Both Kate and Teddy were dismissed. They used the black staffer, who is the 15-year head of NASA, to put them on a train. More symbolism. The train normally means in movies and in like music videos, or anytime you see a train, the Matrix taught us that means to transport knowledge. Whether you want to expand it or end it, it's still the transport of knowledge. The company BASH, BASH, is introduced. BASH in Gematria is the number 3. They are staying the course with the movie's theme. The CEO is supposed to represent Steve Jobs, but older, the 3rd richest person in the world, they say. A civilian overheard Kate discussing a comment that is bigger than the asteroid that destroyed the dinosaurs is coming to Earth, and lied about it being for a video game. Just like in real life, the white woman is not receiving what she needs from the government, but she is still obeying her orders. No offense, no shade, but it is what it is. The talk show mentions President Orlean, which is number 4. Once again, a recurring theme. Orlean by itself, represented by the master number 11, which is a karmic number that represents spiritual awakening and inner soul development. We see the message of this movie is staying consistent. Oglethorpe, announced as an astronomer. Like, for some reason, every few scenes, he's announced as a different job. But this time, he was announced as an astronomer. Went onto a popular talk show to warn everyone of the devastating comment. The host tried to spin and deflect the real issues, just like in real life. That is when Kate got annoyed and lost her temper. The host laughed, cracked jokes about Kate's mental state, ridiculing and discrediting her for blurting out the truth. The head of NASA, who discredited their announcement as mass hysteria after she told them to keep silent. Sounds familiar? Also, keep note that every few scenes, Oglethorpe is called by a different name and a different title. I guess I need to stop ad-libbing because I keep saying it and then I wrote it to say it. Anyway, Guess they are trying to debunk the crisis actor theory. Kate's boyfriend went to the tabloids for a quick payday, calling her the crazy chick who said we're all going to die. President Orleans' new pictures she sent to a Supreme Court nominee were leaked, and everyone was gossiping about the affair. This was done by the media to make everyone forget the doomsday warning. Then the conspiracy theories came out about the Jewish billionaires invented the comment threat so the government can confiscate our liberty and our guns. Sounds familiar. This is so not far-fetched. And this is supposed to be a comedy movie. Okay, while Kate is jogging at the university, the FBI swarms her to arrest her for the breach of national security secrets. If she is crazy and it is all a lie, then why arrest her? They also placed a hood on her so she couldn't see where they were taking her. The black guy who's the head of NASA was also arrested. Kate Oglethorpe and the black guy was taken to the White House instead of a jail cell. The president actually sounds intelligent with her quote and revealed her son's name is Jason. Jason confirmed that Harvard University confirmed Kate and Oglethorpe's data extending a presidential apology. Why would you publicly humiliate someone just to apologize to them in secret? This is what they do in real life, y'all. So far, this movie is on code, showcasing the United States and their bullshit. Remember, Cat Williams once said he was handcuffed on television and taken in a police car, but was never officially taken to a precinct or arrested. Kate then calls out President Jane Orlean about only acting on the comment as a re-election gimmick. Because the new pictures she gave to her ex-porn star sheriff boyfriend were leaked. That's crazy. The guy on the Supreme Court is an ex-porn star and he was a sheriff. What are we going to do in the United States? Anyway, Jason appoints an Asian White House staffer to take the blame for the USA not taking action on the comment sooner. The staffer agrees to resign in disgrace in the morning. They air an emergency broadcast of the comment. They then appoint Benedict Drask, why is that his name, to take command of the mission and name the American Savior. Drask is a low-level general who trained children to exercise on the White House lawn. Reminds me of a game they do every year, like the Easter egg hunt. They do in real life, like on a real White House lawn every year. Anyway, yet he will be in the history books as the savior. He is an old Southerner who believes in the Confederate. The news channel is called Patriot with 5 stars and the red, white, and blue logo. That was funny too. Jason admitted to writing the speech, and Kate recognizes a line from Saving Private Ryan. They are implying our president, White House staff, and most who are in high-ranking positions in the USA are idiots, classless, sex-craved gossipers. The black scientist was used as a token, which is fake inclusion. They do that to black people all of the time. Sometimes they do that to heavyset people as well. Dirty, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Randy Mendy goes onto the same talk show. He was welcomed with open arms, and the woman host discreetly touches his thigh and his penis while airing the information about the comment. This signifies men want inclusion into the Me Too movement. Oh, I forgot I wrote that. She follows him to the hotel, and they do it in the hallway. They literally have sex in the hallway. The world is watching via live as Commander Drask in the rocket to save the world. He gave a shout out to the proud white folk who work hard. Another older officer stated to excuse Drask because he is from a different generation but appear to be around the same age. Hint, hint. Drask also shouted out the Indians and the gays. Then the American public went viral with a launch challenge. Everyone is shocked when a rocket ship turns around before destabling the comet. The CEO of Bash proposes to use nanotechnology to break the comet into smaller pieces so humanity can control it. He made a few good points and used big words, name-dropped Nobel Prize winners, and bullshitted. Like, he literally bullshitted that. The three scientists went out to a restaurant bar. People harassed them wanting to know info. Kate announced they discovered gold and diamonds on the comet, and they decided to break down the comet into smaller pieces to hit the planet for a financial gain. They placed a hood on Kate again and made her sign a gag order. Now they have people believing the comet will provide jobs and more money. They even launched a national toll-free hotline for the public to ask questions, making Dr. Randall Mindy the face after promoting him to scientist advisor of the White House. Ain't that some shit? The commercial had FEMA and Bash's logos affixed to it. We saw Wiggers, which, means white guys who speak black slang, thinking they are quote unquote woke. And the Wiggers were speaking to Kate at the liquor store. More inclusion. They have to include everyone, right? Dr. Mindy talked specifically to the Bash CEO, and was hoping he did not approach this life or death situation like a businessman. The CEO got mad. Mindy returned to the talk show, and the hosts are spinning the comment to be a good thing. Mindy loses his cool and tells the public on national TV that the president of the United States is lying and everyone is going to die. He is next seen in the backseat of a car wearing a hood. The female host breaks up with him. Kate notices the comet coming to Earth while kissing the wigger. Mindy recognizes it. Mindy recognizes it while driving, and everyone gets out of the car to witness it. He tried calling his wife, but she is upset that he chose the news host over her. Mindy met up with Kate. They went live, encouraging everyone to look up. If they just look up, they will see the comment for themselves. The president decided to run a campaign advising everyone to don't look up. I mean, literally chanting, don't look up, don't look up. Mindy and Kate goes onto a rampage advising everyone that the president and the black guy, Isherwell, is his name, are full of shit. Why is his name Isherwell? Anyway, when you break down that, we're not even going to go there. Okay. Jason gives a speech about how the working class needs the cool rich people to fight against people like Mindy and Kate. Ariana Grande's pop star character is singing a doomsday song, wearing hair that looks like the blasphemer in a feather costume. Isherwell finds Mindy and Kate, notifying them that President Orlean cut India, Russia, and China out of the rights of the diamonds and the minerals. Therefore, those countries tried their own joint deflection mission. He also gave news that the United States bombed their mission so it can appear that it failed. That's some shit the United States would do in real life. Anyway, only the Bash mission remains. Politicians are still telling folks to don't look up. People decided to actually look up and realized they were lied to. The comet was really close to Earth at this time. President jokes about having a tea leaf reading, then asks the CEO of Bash to use the technology to predict her death. He says she is going to be eaten by a brontosaurus, but they didn't know what that means or what it is. Jason gives a heartfelt speech about it's not only about praying for people, but encourages folks to say a prayer for material items like watches and sick apartments. They then release the Bash missiles to break up the comet into smaller pieces. Mindy and Kate bring groceries to his wife and children in attempts to have their last family dinner. She accepts. His wife also reveals an affair she had while they were dating. Black NASA head finds them joining with beer. Yeah, he brings a whole case of beer. The world watches as Bash's bead, B-E-A-D, bead technology goes, and everything is in all caps. NASA, Bash, bead technology goes to the comet in an attempt to break it into pieces. President Xi of China President Qi of China, QI of China, says that the comet is still whole. There were 4 misfires and the sync was off. They announced a system malfunction. Bash CEO excuses himself. The president does the same. The staff realizes they need to be with their families during their last day. President calls Mindy, informing him they had a backup ship in case they were wrong. It holds 2,000 people. It has state-of-the-art cryo chambers and is set to find the nearest Earth-like planet in a Goldilocks zone. She told him there was room for him and one other, suggesting he brings his wife, Bree. We noticed she did not include the black head of NASA, who stuck by her fuckery for the majority of this movie. Mindy told her he will pass and to have fun with her son, Jason. The president says, Jason? Oh, shit. Then it dawned on her she forgot to include her son in her escape plan. Jason was still at the station waiting for her to return from the bathroom, fully clothed with recording gear on, telling himself that his mother is coming back for him. The Patriot News, where the dude that looks just like Alex Jones, hint, hint, announced this is the end. People were fighting, rioting, and had topless urgent care centers. The hosts of the news show were out getting drunk. Black host asked the whole white host if she wanted to fuck. She declined, stating she would rather just drink and talk shit. Do we see? They are showing their true colors. You sleep with people that comes on the show as guests, but you won't sleep with your co-host who's your equal. Anyway, at this time, everyone looks up and watches as the whole comet comes closer to Earth. Everything starts to shake. Kate said she is grateful they tried. Mindy discusses how he and his family had it all. They just didn't realize it. There was a long pause showing sadness in everyone's faces. Then the comet hits. The ship is still traveling as Earth is being destroyed. Now it's 22,740 years later. They land on the nearest Earth-like planet. They show names and companies of the elite who had enough money to buy a ticket to board the ship. Texas Oil, somebody named Gerald Arnold, Ventel Lobbying. See, lobbyists, right? Louis Grandy. Everyone exits the plane completely nude. The new planet is beautiful with waterfalls, greenery, and higher percentage of oxygen than on Earth. Bash CEO gives the stats, and the cryo chambers were 58% successful. President says only 48 died in her section. She proceeds to gawk at an animal. As she approaches it, it places her head into its mouth and throws her into the ground, eating her. Bash CEO announces that the animal is called a brontorog. Ha ha, karma. After the credits roll, you hear a fire crackling. Jason comes out of the rubble or the rubbish, still fully dressed, carrying his mother's Chloe bag, calling for his mom. He immediately pulls out his phone, goes live, stating that he's the last man on Earth and shit's fucked up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If he's the last man on Earth, then who is he talking to? And who is there to like and subscribe? Then he yells for his mom again. This was shown to adhere to the rumor that white women are not attached to their children. Like I said, this movie was all about inclusion. Groups that I haven't seen included since goth in the 90s, like the Wiggers, and everybody had some type of inclusion in this movie. Anyway, so as introduced in the beginning, the main messages of the movie are Live a Spirit's message is for you to let go of the need to control of the physical world and to focus on the spirit instead. It is a sign to open the door for spiritual intervention. Take your soul's mission to the next level. This means to place your focus on your heart's desire and soul's longing to accomplish its mission while on earth. is very important. So for you to know what your sole purpose is in your life mission, and to really accomplish it while you're here, and to do it without fear. Don't worry, be happy. Self-expression, the birth, life, death cycle, the mind, body, soul connection, and the connection to the divine. Divine connection to the ascended masters, which is your ancestors, and to the angelic realm, which is why the Holy Trinity is revered in Christianity. The Father represents angelic heavenly realm, the Son represents the earthly realm, and the Holy Spirit represents the spirit realm. Use imagination or visualization techniques and intellect to bring about desired results into completion. Death, or the ending of a cycle or completion. It also alludes to the beginning of a new cycle. This appears spiritually when we have sufficient experience of life to take charge of our destinies. They have an abundance of knowledge that has been researched, and mathematically aligned and scientifically proven. That don't sound right, but you know what I'm trying to say. No conspiracies and no theories. They really have an abundance of knowledge that has been researched and mathematically aligned and scientifically proven. They're just hiding it from the public. And when the public they drop certain hints, and when we say certain things, they try to say is a conspiracy theory. So I'm letting you guys know there are no conspiracies and there are no theories. Your spiritual journey requires you to make a choice between material wealth and the divine path. The United States government in real life, they have a planetary defense organization. In real life, it is called the NNSA. NNSA is one of the federal agencies with responsibilities for planetary defense, or detecting and mitigating impacted threats from potentially hazardous near-Earth objects such as asteroids and comets. These efforts are a part of an official national security focus for the United States. Why they don't tell us this? Why we had to watch this movie and decode the movie and look stuff up to find this? Well, anyway, it's a such thing. That is when everyone gets the news of a meteor heading to Earth in exactly 6 months and 14 days. 6 months is 180 days, which is the number 9, or death ending of a cycle. 14 days is 2 weeks, also the number 5. Because that's 14, right? Yeah, that's number 5. The number 5 is means spiritual growth and self-confidence. In this stage of spiritual growth, you have wonderful opportunity to actualize your desires and wishes. The president's name is Jane Orleans. Someone may immediately think of New Orleans. However, for there to be a New Orleans, there must be an original or old Orleans. Where is Orleans located? Okay, let's pull that up real quick. One second, I'm pulling it up. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Okay. I hope you can still see this. Okay, so the original Orleans is a city in north central France, about 120 kilometers, which is 74 miles, southwest of Paris. It is the prefecture of the department of Loire and the region of Centre-Val de Loire. Orleans is located in the River Loire, nestled in the heart of Loire Valley, classified as the World Heritage Site. So why was her name Orleans? Not New Orleans, but Orleans. And the city owes its development from antiquity to the commercial exchanges resulting from the river. An important river trade port, it was the headquarters of the community of merchants frequenting the Loire. And they talk about all this stuff about the culture of France and this of France and that of France. So her name was Orleans, not New Orleans, but Orleans, President Orleans. Okay, so the news channel was called Patriot, which are the people who live, love, and bleed America. They are represented by a logo with the American flag colors, 5 stars, and 5 stars. 5 stars represent top-notch Michelin star, 5-pointed star, 5 heads of the beast, etc. And you get what they was saying is from the opening credits. And then I found it funny that the host of the show really looked like I don't believe they did that. Look like Alex Jones. Anyway, the plan was to destroy the comet until the greedy elite discovered the comet was made up of gold, rare minerals, and diamonds. The greedy elite decided to turn the number 9 death into an ending of a cycle by not destroying the comet. They decided to turn the comet into small pieces to gain the abundance of resources. In true United States fashion, they cut out Russia and China by essentially blocking them from the resources. When Russia and China joined forces to go after the comet themselves, the United States government bombed their rockets to ensure that they could not. Sounds familiar. Pearl Harbor all over again, huh? Forcing them to rely on the United States. Okay, so here are my thoughts. This was a good movie. It was heavy if you paid attention. The repeated underlying theme of Don't Let Go is to not rely so much on the physical, but to look to the spiritual realm for answers. Instead of relying on technology that ended up failing, if they would have patronized a prophet, if you know, Christianity, Santeria, still Christianity, but mixed with the occult by way of African Yoruba, or an entombed occult reader, somebody a little witchy, somebody psychic, tarot, or a spiritual awakened person. Spirit would have guided them into victory. Like, no bullshit. Spirit really would have told everyone what to do. Where they also went wrong is when they relied on technology to find the closest planet to Earth that had a similar climate. If they were connected to spirit, they would have gone further out and landed on either Andromeda or Pleiades, which have both people, humanoids, who resemble white people. The black and brown people could have also gone to Pleiades. They could have gone to Sirius or anywhere, especially within the doggone constellation. There was also an option to allow nature to take its course, gain insight into your spirituality, and to properly prepare for ascension. Everyone forgets to do that. Everyone on earth has 6 months and 14 days to follow their hearts, go, do, screw whomever they want, stop worrying, and to just be happy. If they would have relied on spirit, they would have received a better solution on how to break up the comet into smaller, manageable pieces. The spirit realm has infinite wisdom. Technology can only give information based on the knowledge of the user. This is the part people forget. The knowledge of the user is where you can get your answers for technology, because at the end of the day, technology solves a problem, which means the user have to have the problem to be solved. So they have to be in a situation, or they have to answer a question, which once again, technology can only give information based on the knowledge of the user. They believed in the occult because President Orleans had a tea leaves reading. Plus, she went to the fake Bill Gates Steve Jobs to receive a prediction based on technology. You can't have it both ways. Either you're spiritual or you're not. We saw what happens when you flip-flop. Spirituality, astrology, and the occult all derive from the same base, which is theology. When there is yin, there is yang. The universe requires balance. Why else are there a lot of similarities with certain Christian rituals and occult spells? The burning of candles while reciting something that rhymes, singing. The angels listen more closely when you sing. You will manifest things a lot quickly when you sing. Singing songs that rhyme is also a part of spell magic. A British general did assist the United States. The movie mentioned cutting out Russia and China. Sounds familiar? Did you notice when the Confederate General Dude gave shout outs? He gave honorable mention to the proud white folks who work hard, the Indians, and the gays. In true Confederate form, he excluded the blacks, the Jews, and the Asians. This shows the prejudices of old Southern folks whose grandchildren are taking office now. Someone who I respect said when the Confederates lost the war, they should have been deported. I agree with this because now the grandchildren and the great grandchildren of the Confederacy are operating with the same views and they hate black people and Jewish people. Anyway, some became rednecks and some rose into positions of power. This can become dangerous for the blacks, Jewish, and the Asians in this country. We should not be surprised about them always using the black head of NASA to stand on the stage pretending to include black people. There is always fake inclusion in this country. One thing I respect about the old Confederate is he told the truth. His opinion was his opinion, and that was that. It was sad the people on Earth spent their last 6 months and 2 weeks alive doing a launch challenge, not looking up to see the truth for themselves and praying for material possessions instead of connecting to the spirit. I would have used my last 6 months, 6.5 months alive to ask questions to the elders in my family, visited at least one country on my bucket list, faced a few fears, bungee jumped, slept with someone I've always wanted to, tried a new food, reread Holographic Universe, and try to grasp what was really happening. The more you know, the deeper the knowledge and the higher you will ascend. I would have at least attempted a last minute crash course into higher spirituality. Thank you for listening. And like and subscribe for more videos. Have a great night or a positive day.